Yes, yes, yes. We are back. We are back. We are not playing. Welcome to another episode of the LanceScurv Show with Empress Ella G and our special, I can't say guest, because we're going to have you on over and over. A new addition to our family, Sister Danina. And I want you to unmute your phone. We're going to get right into it because the show that we had before, speaking about energy, speaking about the world being a hologram, all of this stuff being an illusion as it is, trust me, it's some deep talk on the fact that we are energy, and that's just the beginning. Everybody received the show for the most part, 99.9%. They wanted more. Sister Danita brought the truth. And like I said, this is going to be an ongoing thing. I ain't going to let you go. You know what I mean? And I just want you to be yourself. Welcome back, Sister Danita. And all I can say is welcome back. Come out swinging like Mike Tyson in the first round.
Thank you, Brother Lance. I just want to start with this. I watched the video that Lily Fire brought in about the girl in Jamaica, and I was highly offended by that because to be completely honest, you have no right. What the hell does somebody's hair have to do with the law? Not a damn thing. Now I'm gonna be honest. If that was me, I would have punched her ass in her face so hard when she would have cut my hair. After she would have cut my ear, that would have cost you being unconscious because I would have knocked her ass silly. There's no way I would allow that. And but see, that's the problem, that a lot of us allow this stuff. Like, no, sometimes you might not want to fight, but at the end of the day, that's what it got to be in order for to free us from a lot of this, because by us going along with it, we're perpetuating it. And that's the problem.
Right.
And I just want to say this because it was a video that I watched, and it was talking about this guy, Matthew LaCroix, and he had a guest up there that was introduced to him. His name was Rex, and anybody can go on YouTube and watch it. It was talking about the archons and our reality of what we live in. And now this is going to blow your mind, because this is actually what is going on, and people are not even aware of this. But I'm going to bring it to everyone's awareness. The fact that we have wars, the fact that we have blood sacrifice, I don't even think that most are even conscious of this. When we have blood sacrifice wars, it is a mass energy source, and it is causing a rift in time and space in order for negative energies to come into our reality. That's what's going on. And people are not, they think that, oh, this is a job. I'm in the military. I'm a part of something. No, it is something more sinister going on behind the scenes, and that you are enabling these negative entities who do not vibrate the same way that we do to cause a rift into our reality, into our time and space. And that's why a lot of this distortion and negativity is going on. Like I told you from the last time that we spoke, I get spiritually attacked all the time. And it's because of what I know. And they know they're not going to shut me down and say what the fuck I want to say. And I don't care who get mad. The deal of it is, like I said before, if you're like, there was a comment in your when we had did the last show, and the guy was like, well, she's saying something that we already know. We all know we're energy. Yeah, dumbass. But if you knew we was all energy, then you know your stupid ass shouldn't be going to a 9-to-5 job. Or what the hell does energy know about a 9-to-5 job? Not a goddamn thing. So if you know that, then you know that we shouldn't be doing that. We shouldn't be fighting each other, because fighting is a program. just as well as a job is a program. It's all a program. Energy does not know nothing about these things until it gets incepted into the reality. If you ever watch the movie Inception, it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
And they talk about how the mind can be incepted. And that's what has happened to all of us. And how they get you is, as I said in the previous video, the real world, and the words, right, in the words of So Madame, because she talks about this stuff too. The real world is in the dream world, or the dream state, when you are in REM sleep. Because you are energy. Energy doesn't know anything about this reality until it comes into the collective consciousness to be programmed. It doesn't know any of this. That's why everything is vibration. Sex is vibration, because what does a man do when he gets on top of a woman? He pounds and thrusts. That's vibration. When I'm speaking to you right now, it comes through in the reality as a voice. And it's the only reason why it comes through as a voice is because it's so many spirits here, because it's dense.
Right.
Because guess what? When you dream, I'm quite sure I can speak for most, that when you dream, you can't really hear. You can see somewhat, but it's not like it is once you come back into this reality. It's very thin. When I dream, I can see somewhat. I can't feel anything. I can't really hear anything, but you're getting an image of someone. And I'm quite sure I can speak that for most, because I really haven't ran across someone who really can feel a lot in a dream.
Right.
So that we should be questioning that. Why do we go to sleep? What is sleep? How does it relate to this reality? And most are not. They are so, it's like we are in the world of the Walking Dead, because so many people are asleep. The fact that we have mass sacrifices going on in front of our eyes, we're not even aware of it. The celebrities sell out their own children and sacrifice them. The armies, the Navy, Air Force, all that is blood sacrifice. What is all of this stuff being done for? It's something more sinister that is going on than just meets what your two eyes can see. Because most of us are not looking at it with the first eye. We're only looking at it from looking at the two illusionary eyes, and these two eyes ain't worth shit, because everything that you see is fake. Everything. And that's why I was talking to when we all were on the chat the last time, or we had the show the last time, when I was talking to the other guests that we had about the Bible. It wasn't to cause any problem, but it's just the Bible is so full of programs. It is so full of programs. And the Bible does not go in detail about the laws, the Hermetic 7 universal principles. It doesn't go into all of that. It just only really goes into how you're supposed to live your life. And if you ever really paid attention to it, how many times does the Bible bring up, I want you to be a servant to the Lord?
True.
For real.
I think that's code word for slave. So it mind boggles me that so many of us are asleep in this reality. We are not conscious. We are not aware of what this is. We think that energy is just supposed to go to work. We're supposed to come home, have sex, eat, and all of that. And all of it is all programs. And the reason why we have even been programmed to eat is to weigh your spirit down, because we're not supposed to be eating meat. Because that meat that you eat, that animal or that spirit is a spirit like you. And 9 times out of 10, it's been tortured and killed. What do you think that spirit was feeling before it died? It was feeling depression, anxiety, and fear. And you are putting that inside of your morphogenetic field or your morphogenetic field. You're putting that vibration in your field. And we all know that fear blocks manifestation. So it bothers me that we're not aware of this. It bothers me that we go on and live in this reality. This is like real. Most of us are not even happy here. Like I said the last time when we talked, the guy who I talked to at the gas station, because I never really got to tell that story. The guy who I spoke with in the gas station, and we were just having a random conversation. And he said, you know, I see lights around me. And he asked me, you know, well, what do you think that is? And I'm like, well, it's energy all around us. You just can't see it because it's so many of us being programmed. And because we're all stuck in the collective consciousness, whatever the collective minds think, that's what you're going to see, because that's the mass of the energy believing in it. And this is how reality works. Reality works off of the collective. It's not a one thing. Why do you think that they get on these computers? A computer is a mimic of us. We are the highest form of technology there is, period. It can't be argued with, because reality comes from us. And because it's a collective thing, when so many are believing, so many are giving energy to it, we speak it every day, we live it, we put energy to working constantly. This is what is pumping the reality. If most said today, we had enough, we're not going to work no more, I'm tired of going to work, we're not doing it no more, the shit is getting old, it's getting played the fuck out, and I'm sick of the shit. If most of us said that, this reality will block the hell out quick. Quick. Everybody will be seeing the darkness, because that's where light comes from. The dark is a perfect contrast. And I don't even think, I think that most people are not even conscious of this. Just lend me your mind for a second. When you look at the sun, right? And we are supposed to be here on Earth, but the sun is up in the sky. We are down, we are below the sun, and we are a physical form, but the sun is light. The sun is giving energy to everything. Wouldn't that make the sun an extraterrestrial? Because technically, if we're all humans, the sun shouldn't be here. Does that make sense? What I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
because the sun would be an extraterrestrial. The sun would be the extraterrestrial, because we're all humans and animals. We all have a physical body. What is the sun doing here for? Like it just doesn't. That should be questioned, and most of us don't even question that. We just go, "Oh, it's the sun. It's giving life to everything. We need the light." But have you even questioned the light of the sun? Why it is here? Why? How come we are not up shining like the sun? How come we're down here living in a physical body that smells, that we always have to wash all the time? We're always having to be stuck in the physical, and most of us don't even want to be here. I can't tell you how many people I have come across who are sick of life, because you take out the F of life. What does it spell?
Lie.
Right. It's all a lie. It's all fake. It is a fabrication. It is the great phantasmagoria. And that's exactly what it's all based on. It is based on the great phantasmagoria, because these entities know that if everyone wake up from this and they realize what is going on, their ass is in trouble, and they know this. Because how would you feel knowing that your energy is being harnessed and used to create a reality that you ain't benefiting from?
Right.
You would be pissed off, because I know I would want to rip a motherfucker head off. Because when I found out all of this, I was mad as hell. Oh, I was mad as hell because when I first came into this, when my mind was incepted like everyone else's, I questioned my own reality. I'm like, what the hell am I doing here? And you are surrounded by a whole bunch of entities that you don't even vibrate with. They just there. And you're like, it's like you are the outcast because you are complete different vibration from them, because most have been programmed to vibrate low, because that's the only way. It's this whole thing is based upon low vibrations, all of it. Even when you think about sex, this, because we got in a topic about that, how I kept saying I don't like sex, and there's a reason for that. When I came in here, I was all mental. I'm still all mental. If I don't make a mental connection with you, I can't fuck with you. I can't do it. I can't deal with you and we don't meet mentally, because you can't stimulate me physically. You have to stimulate me and get me interested mentally. I could talk for hours. And if you can't do that, then I can't fuck with you, because the physical is secondary. The mental is first, because that's what you are before your mind is incepted. Everything is mental. It's all on what you perceive and what you think that it is. And just like I said, these so-called archons, these spirits are blood sacrificing to them constantly. And it has, because most don't realize that there is life on the outside of this. Like there is another mirror galaxy that is like the Milky Way, and right? Those entities there are insectoids. They're like, and it may sound so extraterrestrial, ET, so sci-fi, but that was their time frame, so that's what they know. The spirits that are here of today are a whole nother vibration. And that's why literally they're a whole nother vibration, because you have to think the universe and the cosmos is ongoing. Time is literally, and I had to learn that for myself, that time is literally an illusion, because time doesn't stop the way that it stops here. It's an ongoing thing. And the thing of it is that there is a mirror galaxy to ours called Andromeda, and these particular beings there are supposedly insectoids, just like we had the reptilians. These entities all lived in a certain particular time frame, which is why their consciousness is stuck there, because even for them, they program too. They program with what they know, which is to conquer everybody else and to control everybody else. Because if you look at the reality, it's all based on ego. I mean, we're all here, and what most people do, they feed their ego. Oh, I want to be the best. Oh, I want to have a nice house. Oh, I want to have a nice car. But really, it's all an illusion, because when your ass die, you can't take none of this shit with you.
Real talk.
You can't take none of it with you. So in other words, what good is it? You doing all that, and the main thing that you're supposed to do is be feeding your consciousness, because that's what you are. You don't feed your consciousness, you're basically killing your life. Because what does the light do? If the light can't feed, the light will give up on itself. That will actually be a death. Because that would be a real death. Having a physical death is not death for us. That's been a lie that has been told. That's an illusion. But once the consciousness actually gives up on it.
Okay, Danita fell off a little bit. Let's see.
Oh, wow.
Might be a minute or two. Oh, as soon as we get, okay, there we go. Here we go. Oh, okay, Danita, you're back. Go ahead.
to the vibration. It lowers their vibration until they're so low that the light gives up on itself, and then it can be consumed by another entity. Because this is what's happening. They don't even know that most of us are being fed on constantly, and we're not even aware. Would you be okay knowing that somebody is feeding off you, that they get fed while your energy is being drained and you killing yourself while they getting big off of you? I have a problem with that. Because I don't want nobody taking shit from me. You can't even get a goddamn piece of bubble gum from me without me looking at you wrong. So to me, I feel like, and I would love your feedback, Lance and Empress Elegy, about how do you feel knowing that this reality is feeding upon you? It is literally, because if you even if your life isn't like that, but when you go on the outside of yourself, it's all around you. Mm-hmm. So it's impossible for you not to see it.
Well, if you want some
I would
feedback,
like you guys' feedback.
Yeah. No,
I'm ready. I'm listening.
Okay, I always felt the way you broke it down. I always felt that way. I just never really said much to much people because people are gonna think you're crazy with that awareness. What you said about sleep and energy doesn't know this program basically until it comes back into it. I've always been one who has been an independent thinker as a creative person, and I feel most people who are artists on certain or different degrees have the ability to go out of this reality or this program. I won't say reality. Correct me sometime. I'm learning how to talk a little different now. But you have the ability as a creative person, artist who can paint, can draw, can sing, can write books, use your imagination to go out of the program. And I always felt that when you are a creative person, you are a threat to the program because you have the ability to come out of it and bring back another reality that is a threat to that. And this is why most creative people or revolutionaries are creative people. When you saw Michael Jackson dance and sing, I didn't know that all his life he had a room full of artwork that the world never saw until he passed away or right before he passed away. So what I'm saying, this is why when they want to control you in their so-called educational school systems, the first thing to go when they claim that there's no funding is the art program or the arts or the creative things, because that is what cultivates your ability to think out of the box. Right. So me being in that position of life, I've known that for a fact within myself, but never really shared it with other people because I always felt the 9 to 5 thing, whatever hours I did work, I knew I wasn't supposed to be that way or in that position. When fruits grow freely, the things that sustain us are free. They're put here. But there's someone who wants to put the program over us so we don't enjoy what it is that we're supposed to be enjoying and vibrating higher as we ascend. I'll say that much.
Well, yes, I do get that. They're saying that I sound choppy in the chat.
Yeah, we know, but it'll be okay once it's uploaded. Yeah,
that way because you're connected directly into the cloud. So this being live, if this was recorded, we wouldn't have this at all.
Right.
But it is being recorded per se, but it goes in and out like that. But the end result, I believe, and if not, we'll just have to just go ahead and record these because we don't want to miss a syllable of what you have to say.
Right.
Okay. I mean? And I just want to say this, what you were saying about Michael Jackson, because I know about how that works as well. Michael Jackson was one of the greatest performers of all time, but I'm going to tell you how it works. The celebrities it's a pyramid scheme, and the celebrities are at the bottom basically, and the more that they sacrifice, they go higher. You can't go higher in it unless you sacrifice, or you have to do something that is low vibrational, because if you don't do it and you don't do what they want you to do, they get rid of you.
Right.
And the minute that you don't go along with it, you better best believe they're gonna take your ass out. And when Michael Jackson started talking too much, they had to get rid of him. And so what happens is that Michael Jackson, bless, well, I ain't gonna say bless, because bless means to be less, and I ain't less. So I'm gonna say bless up. But bless up Michael Jackson. But what I will say is that his spirit is being used as a funnel of energy, because he was remembered here. So when people say Michael Jackson, they play his music, their emotions go off, and that energy is a frequency set towards him. And once that energy gets to his spirit is now owned by the archons, and they suck that energy from him.
Oh my gosh.
That's how this is how it works, because it's a pyramid scheme, and only the one you see, the top of a pyramid is very small, meaning there's not many at the top. They're not going to let you get at the top over them. That's why most celebrities, when they get big, eventually the tree comes crumbling down.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
So because they're not going to allow you to get higher than them. They did the same thing with Bill Cosby when he tried to buy that network. You saw what they did to him. It's the same thing being played over and over and over again. And the reason why is because of the ego. Because all of us.
Let me ask you, Janina, hold that thought. Let me just ask you something, because in the last few years, and I would say maybe the last, not even just long before I got onto the internet, I know what's inside of me. I know I have a lot inside of me. I have a lot to learn also, but I have a lot inside of me as far as creative energy on so many fronts that people don't even know.
Right.
And knowing that, one thing that I feel that I can do to defeat that system is not become a part of it.
Exactly.
I don't want to be famous in this system. I don't want nobody stepping to me. I want to quietly create what I create and leave it here on this level when it's time for me to come out of this program, so that those vibrations can help to liberate people, whatever it is. There's a lot more inside of me. There's a lot more inside of me, y'all. And so I never, and I've been stepped to on certain smaller levels that would have led to bigger things. Trust and believe, but I rejected it. I don't want it. Because I know that would be my doom. That would be how they would suck my life force. Like you said, the Michael Jackson energy doesn't go to him. They get it. You see what I mean? So I do feel that we have to consciously channel that energy right to the source. I think as we pop our fingers to his music, using him as an example, it could be an actor, it could be anybody on a creative level. But when we vibe with what they left, we have to consciously think and say, let it go to him. It's just like when you see somebody who has a talent and they're working on a job, and you got to pay the person who owns the whole hierarchy of the job, like construction. It's like, man, I got to pay you $50,000 to do this, but you only going to get $5. Well, listen, I'll pay you $20 directly in your pocket, and you keep it, and it saves me money, and you get more money. I just feel on a spiritual or higher level, the vibration level, that we need to direct our energies directly to. And this is why it's important with independent artists that we support them. Don't wait for them to get to that level where they're prostituted and used and they have to go through them to be famous. Let them vibe with the people and even take a little less, but we as the people get more, but we always support them because that's their position to motivate us on to the next level and to be strong, to stay out of the matrix.
But if you notice, a lot of the entertainers that you don't hear from anymore, like they hit a certain point, even if they are getting to that top of that pyramid, they step away. They don't talk about it. They won't let anyone else know what is going on. But what they do is they remove themselves completely. Like they'll just get out of the business altogether because they don't want any part of it. But they won't share what exactly is going on.
They have They have to do that, because if they don't do it like that and you talk too much, they're gonna come and get you.
Exactly. Exactly.
But I do agree with Brother Lance about what he said when he said about supporting them as independent artists. And that is a beautiful thing, but the problem is that most of us have to be on code with it, and that's the problem. Most of us are not on code. We just want to see them glorified on this television. And just like Segment 7 always say about the pink parasite, they are literally parasites. And what does a parasite do? They feed off of you. Just like a mosquito bites you and it sucks your blood, it's a parasite. It's feeding off of you. And to go back to what I said about the Andromeda galaxy, why do you think I think that mostly everybody hate insects. Like even if it is a few who like some, for the most part, most people complain about them. But why do you think they're here? The insects are here. They have an origin. And I just told you where they come from. It's from a star constellation, Andromeda. They're the insectoids. Everything here that is in this reality has an origin somewhere else. All of it. Just like they call what is it? I forgot the name of the dog star that they call the dog star. But we all have an origin somewhere else, and it's the realm that you can't see, because we're not seeing the real spectrum of what we're supposed to see. When you see night and day, that is the bullshit realm. It's the bullshit world. We're supposed to be seeing stars and the constellations, and we're not seeing any of that. And they don't want you to see it, because they know if you've seen it, you won't be working no 9 to 5, and you will be questioning that, and you will not be rooted to this bullshit. That's why they have to go so hard to program you. They go hard with the programming, and I mean hardcore with the programming. If you think about it, a church and the Bible is shoved down your damn throat when you get here. Because I remember a long time ago, when I was a kid, like I'm wondering, like, why the fuck do I gotta go to church and listen to this boring shit? I don't want to hear this shit. This shit is boring as hell. And then when they talk about, and I don't want to offend nobody in the chat, but I am going to say it because it is what it is, and this is factual. When we talk about whites, right, and we talk about the differences between the blacks and the whites, there is a big difference with them. And the difference is that a human means colored person, basically. And we all know that when you look into reality, it's color all around the reality. Is for the whites. So who would be the one that is the awkward elephant with pink polka dots? It's the damn white people. And I remember a long time back when I was in kindergarten, there was a girl. This is how you know that this hasn't been going. They tell you that this shit been going on for millions of years, but that's a lie. And I'm gonna tell you why I know it's a lie. Because when I was in kindergarten, I never forgot this shit. I never forgot this shit. There was a white girl sitting in front of me, and this bitch had fucking lime green bugs crawling in her scalp, and she was sitting in front of me.
Stop it.
No, I'm not. I'm not lying, Empress LG. I'm not. I literally remember that. I remember that shit specifically. She had lime green bugs, and my mother was the type of mother, if I got a spot on my clothes, she would whoop my ass for it. She like when I tell you, I'm the type that if I get a spot on me, I'm pissed off. I sit in the tub for hours. My dude here will tell you this. So I never forgot that. And now to realize that they call black people the monkeys when your ass have motherfucking the monkey DNA. You literally have the monkey DNA. Cause like I told y'all the last time when we had the show, the last time I think I spoke about, we have a lychee tree in front of the yard. And 1 year it had bloomed like crazy, and it looked like a damn store full of fruit. And we were picking them off the tree to sell them to some of the grocery stores.
Right.
And I won't getting up there climbing up no damn tree. Fuck that. That I ain't doing that. But we had one of our neighbors to do it, and we stayed around. It's a lot of white people here, and we had some older couple, but their nephew or son came over there, and we had him to pick some of the leaches off the tree. I was on the ground, and I'm looking at, because I'm putting them in the box. And before I know it, he was standing right in front of me. Before I know it, that motherfucker was at the top of the tree. I was like, you got to be motherfucking kidding me. And they want to call us motherfucking monkeys. I was like, I said, damn. I said, his hands ain't got fucking hooks on him, because his ass was at the top of the tree. I couldn't believe it. In like the blink of an eye, I was like, damn. So when I say that, I say that from experience, because I've also seen this girl, because it's a white couple that stay in the back of us too. And I guess their daughters come over there, and I seen this bitch wash her damn hair in the back of the yard with a damn water hose. Like, now, ain't no damn black girl doing that. Like, there's no way. I'm like, that's the animalistic shit. It comes out so much, and a lot of our people are not even aware of this shit. That it's such a big difference between us and them. It's a big difference. And like I'm saying, if you're going to be in the reality, then actually be conscious, because being aware. And being acutely aware, participate in it, at least be aware of what is around you. Be aware of who and what you are as consciousness. And a lot of us are not aware of that, because if we were, we would not be living this reality that we live. We are being fed upon by parasites, and it is so annoying, because the military scheme in itself, because if they cut that off, if that ever gets cut off, because it's creating, by being in the military, so many die. So there's so many negative things happening, and there's a reason for those deaths. That's energy, because all of us are energy. So what is energy going to do if it is constantly being sacrificed, and is being sacrificed in a negative way? It's going to create a rift in time and space. And that is what is getting them into our dimension. They are invaders from a whole nother reality, a whole nother vibration.
Let me ask you.
Go ahead.
Let me ask you this question. When we hear people talking about the CERN operation out there, and the fact that they're using the Hadron Collider to open up portals, right? And allow entities to come in. What's your take on that?
Well, this is
Collider to open up portals, right? And allow entities. Why am I hearing myself?
No, I cut it off. It had unmuted.
Okay.
Oh, I was flipping. I thought I was transitioning to another
program. No.
Okay. No, I just want to hear your take, sis, because we're talking about, all the killing and the energies. And, we've been hearing people talk about entities are now entering this reality and so on and so forth. So I just want to hear,
I think that, first we have to think about how reality works. We know that reality is not nothing physical. And this is how I see it, because there is no physical, all is mental, right? I think that most of us they show us these things for a reason, because it brings up excitement, it brings up emotion, it brings up anxiety, it brings up fear. All of these are forms of emotion, which is the energy in motion. That's what emotions are. Energy in motion, because we are energy, period. And I think that because they show these things, it sparks so many emotions, which is why we have the television to be able to mind program us, to incept our mind to believing in these things. But I think the main thing that is that they're telling you what is really happening, but they're not really telling you really how it's happening.
Right. Well, that's true.
And I think that the main reason how it's happening is through blood sacrifice. I think that is the main thing. Because think about it, when they did that, if you remember, they was doing a show, or they did some type of play over in Switzerland when they was showing you the performance of the CERN, right? What did they show you in that when the people kept falling from the mountain? That was death. That was them dying. So that's telling you right there that it's through negative energy from mass numbers of people dying. That's the main point of it, because reality itself is not physical enough to be able to do that. Because if it was, don't you think we'd be seeing fucking superheroes flying all over the place? Well, we can't really physically see that. And the reason why you ain't gonna see that, because if you could see that, then shit, why the hell God ain't pop his motherfucking ass up? You should have been came here and said all this shit straight by now. And the reason why you can't see that is because, well, you know how I feel about that. I'm not having that, because I feel like if God was real, the only God is the God within us. Nobody is going to take care of you the way you are going to take care of yourself. You can't depend on something on the outside of you, or what's being told to you, something that you can't prove. The only thing you can prove is about a damn book. And that same book has a whole bunch of hypocrite knowledge in it. And a book of spells and bullshit is what I call it. Because yes, there are a lot of truths in the Bible, but the Bible has a lot of lies in it too. And if you're not able to decode it, you won't know whether or not it's a lie or anything. You just go along with the program like everybody else and be a bot. Because essentially that's what we're doing. Believing in something that you can't prove. I'm like this. I'm from Mississippi. You gotta show me, baby. And if I can't, if I'm not able to prove it, then I'm not believing that shit. I'm sorry. I just can't. I can't go off belief. I have to know. Even believe.
Okay, she fell off again. This is seem to be happening. I don't know. We do all these other shows. Everything goes good. Here we go again. Let me it takes a second. Let me pop it back in. Okay, good. Danita, you're back.
And people don't, I think the spirits don't realize that. I'm sorry, Lance, what you say?
Oh, I just said you're back. You had popped out for a second and you came back.
Oh.
You know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This only seems to happen when you're on because of the stuff you're talking. So I already know what that is.
Right. Because they don't want me to tell it. They don't want me to tell the deal. Down because they know I'm not gonna talk about bullshit. I'm gonna take it head on and chokehold your ass. And that's exactly how I get down. I'm not gonna sit here and talk about the bullshit. And what I was saying is that even when Empress Elegy was talking about the CERN portal, there is a portal and a rift being created, but it's not in a physical way of a machine doing it. Because we all know that a machine can't really physically exist. The only reason why it exists is because of the denseness. There is no physical. The only reason why this appears to be physical is because it's so many consciousnesses here thinking that it's real when it's not real. Because if it was, a rock is a rock all the time. A rock does not go from being solid to going to sleep. It's a rock all the time. Does that make sense?
Oh, no, it is. And we give power to these other realities. And that's why they suggest it to us through their films and movies.
Right. Right. This is
real. You know,
this is the farm. This is the farm, basically. They use us here to power their shit. Basically, why? And you know what happens to your light? Either your light gets so transparent that you're basically a phantom after you've been used up. You're not even light anymore. You're like a transparent phantom.
But let me ask you something else and basically make a statement at the same time. I'm one who feels that these outside entities outside of the program that are sucking our energies can plainly see our light. Like a moth or the bugs that fly toward a floodlight in the backyard at night, and you see all these bugs flying around, they're attracted to you like they can see it. So this is why those entities that choose to come into the program, that inhabit it with us, to interact with us, to persuade some of us who are riding the fence, when they see us, just like in the movie The Matrix, where they were walking down the street and those agents and the girl in the red dress was just watching them. These entities see and know who you are. Mm-hmm. Even times I've attempted to mask my energy by acting thuggish around the thuggish acting guys or acting worldly around the worldly acting people. Those entities ain't having it because they know who you are, no matter how you try to act. Because I try to blend in wherever I am, and they still see you. They come at you. They still on the jobs, which, like you say, you shouldn't be on, but they know they just mess with you. You look at them and you know who they are, and you download who they are, and you know you got problems because they know what's inside of you. Just the same way when someone sees you and they can't stand your essence or guts, and you know why, because they figured out who you are. And sometimes it takes years and even decades for us to figure out it's because of the energy and the charge and the positivity that we have to see outside the game of this illusion. So the way I talk and always talk has always pissed people off, because it's like they try to write you off like you crazy, but they know you telling the truth. And they're like, we got to snuff this person out under the guise of crazy, but you're a threat to the program and a threat to the system.
Yeah, you are 100% correct. And they can exactly see your light, because that's what they feeding off. Now, I have a little scenario that I just want to put, and this is gonna have some comedic of value to it. But when we talk about working, right now, when you create your own, that's something completely different. But we're talking about working within the matrix system, the 9 to 5, the 10 to 12 hours, right? At one point in time, I did do that. I think we all have worked in the system at one point in time, but it was one time I worked 2 jobs and I was a full-time student in college. And like, I've been there. I know what it feels like. Yes. Yeah. That's why I say I know what it feels like. And so at one point in time, I'm like, I don't feel like I'm getting paid what I'm worth, and I'm working my ass off and I ain't getting nowhere. This is a problem for me. And so I said to myself, I was like, the last job that I had, I was in New York and I was working in the zoo, right? I was working in the zoo, and it was this guy in there. He was real cool until he came out his mouth wrong. I had to cuss his ass out, and I left his ass stuttering because he just did not believe that I came out like that. I had his ass in there stuttering, because you're not gonna come at me no type of way. So that was the last job I had, but I realized real quick that after that, ain't gonna be no more 9 to 5s and all that shit now. Ain't gonna be none of that, because what the hell do I look like knowing all this and I'm gonna go back working to a goddamn 9 to 5? You must be fucking mad. I even told my dude, because we were married before we got a divorce, because he claims I'm too goddamn much and I don't know what the fuck to say out my mouth. But when I told him when I first
he came back.
Basically.
I'm saying you were not, right. That's a good thing.
I said, and even if his ass didn't come out, oh well, shit. What, I'm supposed to stop because you want to be an asshole? Keep on keeping on, nigga. That's how I feel. So my whole deal is this. I basically told him, I said, well, you know how I feel. I don't want to work because that shit drains you. And then you have the feeling of, I don't want to do this shit. You really do. It's like you're forcing yourself to do something that you don't. That's a problem. You need to be questioning that. You need to be questioning that. Why are you continuing to do something that you don't want to do? I met a dude off the street and he was a Mexican dude. Dude was like, yo, baby, just stay here and spend some time. I'm like, boy, if you don't get the fuck out my face, like, I'm not about to do that. I don't fucking know you. And then he I worked 12 hours all day. Well, motherfucker, that's your stupid ass. That's why you burnt your goddamn stuff out. Now you think you're gonna burn me out? So no, the fuck you're not. So I had to leave his ass standing there because most people don't want to do it. And that's my whole point. Most of them don't want to do it. But because we are so blinded by this reality, we ain't seeing. We think that we have to do it. Because think about it now. You heard what I just said. We think that we have to do this to survive. Yeah. That's the gig. That's the jig right there. It's telling you it's all mental. Right. Because you think that you have to do it to survive, because you don't. The greatest thing that they did was hiding the information of who and what we truly are. And they had to do that because if they didn't do that, it wouldn't have survived this long. They had to keep away the knowledge of who you truly are, right, in order to manipulate you.
Right.
Right, because otherwise, then how the hell you gonna do it? You're not gonna be able to do it other than that. And they even wrote manifestos. They wrote manifestos about this shit, and the manifesto basically said that if all of the spirits ever found out that we did this to them, it will be nowhere for us to hide. They wrote manifestos about this shit because they know that they did some fuck boy shit. And anyone who would sit here and do some punk ass shit like that and hide shit, knowing that this is who they are. Even the video games, it's even in the video games. If you look at Mortal Kombat, they show you even in that what is going on. The bug lady Devora, she is from Andromeda, the galaxy I'm talking about. They show you all of this stuff right in the games. Why people think it's just a game. It has to have an origin. Nobody's imagination is that fucking good. And when they show you all of these movies, why do you think they show you all of these movies? Because it happened to certain spirits. That's why. That's exactly where it's coming from. No one's imagination is that fucking good. I questioned that a long time ago. I'm like, where the fuck is all these movies coming from? Who the fuck is coming up with this shit? And I'm saying to myself, I'm like, no, this shit had to happen to certain spirits in order for them to just keep pumping out movies like that. Think about it. When the celebrities die, don't they show the celebrities' life and how they come to their demise?
That's true.
Right. It all comes from somewhere. So if it all comes from somewhere, then that means every movie that you done watch, there, especially sad movies, movies of depression, movies of basically trying to program you into being a goddamn prostitute, those movies too, they all happen to certain spirits. And because we are so unaware, we just look at it like, oh, it's just a movie. It's just for entertainment. No, motherfucker, it's to program your ass.
I never
you
look
do the
at
same
anything.
shit.
Right. I've stopped looking at it. I mean, we've all been caught up in that mess of just seeing things for, what it looks like, until you start to realize that, as a matter of fact, forget about the programming. They're telling you what's about to happen or what's been happening. When you see these movies, believe it, and don't even believe it. Know that what they're telling you is what is.
Right. And just like we talked about earlier about that CERN portal. Oh, trust me, that CERN portal is still open. How you think all them negative entities entering here?
They can't close it.
They don't want to close it, because if they close it, that cuts off their access to us. That's why they have it open.
Wasn't there a time when it was just rotating, or it was going in a circle where you would repeat, we were repeating things, we were repeating cycles, and that's how they were keeping us programmed, is because, it was going around and it would just come back to zero, go around again, come back to zero, go around again. And something screwed up. Right. And that's why a lot of us are now waking up, those that are waking up en masse and seeing reality for what it is. It's because they can't really control us in the way that they want to control us anymore.
I think because that, remember earlier I spoke about that video that I watched about the boy, the guy Matthew LaCroix. He spoke about that. And if you ever watched that movie called Apocalypto, where there was blood sacrificing all of those spirits, that is what brought them here, because there were entities here that wanted to control humanity.
Right.
They wanted to control the spirits, and that's what brought them here, because they told them that because you have to think this stuff goes way back, and it still has the same origin. Religion is one of the main roots to hold this shit together, because even back in those times, they said that if you blood sacrifice to the gods, it'll make your God come back. They'll bless you with rain and crops and all of this shit.
Right.
And that is what caused those people to start blood sacrificing constantly. If you ever watched that movie, if you've seen all those bodies they had blood sacrifice, they killed many of them. All of that added to opening that rift and that portal. And they have not stopped it since. They just masked it. They mask it through the military. They mask it through, oh, you're a celebrity, you're a star. They mask it through being a thug and in a gang. Because what do? They go out here, shoot and rob and kill people. It's still sacrificing. So that all of that contributes to keeping that portal open. That's all, because these are very low vibrating entities. And their vibration is not like ours. They're not even supposed to be here. And in order for them to be here, they have to keep that portal open. Because without that portal being open, that portal closes and that cuts them off from feeding. And what happens when a parasite cannot feed? It dies. Because they're already weak energy anyway. And that is what is happening. And the more of us that wake up and we realize that this is going on, and you stop and be aware of what you're doing and your surroundings, we can actually stop that, because it starts with us. We're the everything. We are the all. We create reality.
Right. It's interesting. When we talk about these human sacrifices, and you look in the Bible, and they would talk about certain groups of people or tribes of people from different countries, or in biblical countries, that were doing human sacrifices, right? And they would decry those people, but then they masked it by saying that they were now doing animal sacrifices.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So masking it.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what they did. They turned it around, masked it, so that we who are being programmed and controlled wouldn't be, just appalled and disgusted by what is being done, by saying that these were animals that they were sacrificing.
Right, but as you
because
they're
still doing it now. Those same people, those same biblical people are doing it today. We're talking about the ones that call themselves the Ish. Right? They're still doing it.
Yes. And just that boy, he broke it. The next time that we go on. I want you guys to listen to, we have to find some way for you guys to listen to this video at what he says. It breaks it all, and it's only like 30 minutes, and it breaks it all down, because the leopard, the parasite, whatever you want to call it, it never changes its spots. It can't, because it started from them doing that, and it will end with that. And they have to do the blood sacrificing, because they can only maintain form through blood sacrifice. That's it. That's it, because it's a constant energy flow of negative energy. No one wants to experience dying, especially if you had
not in that manner. Yeah.
Right. And then, and it makes it even worse when you're not even conscious. You're not even aware of the real reality once you die. Do you know what that does to your consciousness as a light, as a mind? It shatters your consciousness, because you're not aware. You don't know what the hell is going on. So when you die, all you'll be thinking about is God saving me. That's why it's so many spirits, and I hate to say this, but I call them programs, because you've been programmed into a program. You've been programmed to think that God is going to save you from everything. When it's not going to, huh?
I always thought about that, the shock of realizing you've been lied to all of your life, and you spent all of this time aiding the program and helping the program by going along with it and supporting it, arguing with other people, beating them down. I'm talking about Christianity and religion. And then you die, and you're waiting, and everything has to hit you at one time. That's like being asked to pay for a luxury car without having a car note. That, okay, you got to pay for it in one shot. Most of us don't have that kind of money, right? But that shock of you got to go back to the programming that was put in you, for the most part, with most people, with religion that was given to them from the minute they were born. And the only thing you can say is that, well, it's got to be right because my parents gave it to me, or everybody else did it. And you get to this point, it's got to be a cold shock.
Yes.
Right.
I've often thought about it.
Right. It shatters your consciousness. Your consciousness is completely shattered. You don't know anything. You will be led anywhere. And if your consciousness is really about vibration, because everything vibrates, nothing sleeps, everything is vibrating at all times. And if your consciousness is just straight vibration, what do you think is going to happen if you've been told the whole time that, oh, well, God loves me, God is going to save me? Your frequency is already wired to that entity. It's just going to collect you. This is why you have to be highly aware, because once you die, once you leave this reality, you will be transferred or because you know what they say, you can't create energy and nor can it be destroyed. It can only be transferred. You or transform into something else, basically another reality. You will be going to another reality, and it could be much worse and even more low vibrational than this one. But you won't know that because you're not aware of anything. All you thinking is that God is going to save you. And the only thing God is thinking about is his motherfucking self. Because if he really actually thought about you, do you actually think they would be sacrificing children? And having children in cages underground? God promotes this and you actually believe in that?
Exactly.
Like, some people have to get, that's why, to be honest, I'm not their personality to deal with, individuals. Because I'm gonna tell you this one story, and I'm gonna have y'all might be busting out laughing at me, but I literally told her this. So it was one time when I was coming into my knowledge about this, and I had went to the Family Dollar store that is near me, right? And it was this lady in there, and I asked her, I just wanted to test the waters because I wanted to see, what the average person was thinking. I already knew what the answer was going to be, but I still wanted to test it. So I asked her, I said, if you don't mind me asking, because she worked there, and I asked her, I said, if you don't mind me asking, what is your take on God? Do you believe in God? Do you think that God is real? And she told me, she said, Oh yes, honey. I know he does a lot for me. I'm looking at her and I'm like, this bitch is out of her motherfucking mind. So I said, I looked at her. I said, are you sure about that? She said, yes, I'm positive. I know Jesus Christ is real. I said, oh, bitch, he that real, but you work in the fucking Family Dollar store. Really? So you struggling and scrambling and probably making fucking minimum wage, and you actually think this fucking God or this entity actually cares about you while you scramble? Like, and I straight told her just like that, because what other, when their mind is that gone, there's no other way to put it but to go raw dog at them.
Right.
Because you can't act like they act and act as if it's not going on when you can clearly see past the psychosis. A lot of them have a religious psychosis of the mind, and it just seems like they just cannot break that. They are so programmed on this body, and this body is nothing but a fucking holographic avatar.
Right.
That's it.
We can't.
It's just a projection.
Exactly. Well, the program starts, so from beginning, from the time you pop out into this reality. So therefore, you can't tap into your higher self. Well, not you.
I actually, well, I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna tell you another situation how I knew we want this body. I'm gonna tell you this real quick, because this happened to me a long time ago. Me and my cousin, we had got into a fight. Me and her used to hang real tight, and we used to go to clubs when we was real young.
All right.
And it was one time I had went and got a Calvin Klein outfit when Calvin Klein was out, and she had gave my outfit to her boyfriend's sister, and she knew we were supposed to go out that weekend.
Oh,
so when I got, yeah, she did, and it was brand new. I was mad as hell. And I got so mad at her, and her mother was telling me, you need to beat her ass right. And so I was like, oh, you already know she catching it. So we went outside, and she put on her fighting gear, everything, because she already knew what time it was. And she hit me first, and I whooped her ass, and she tried to overpower me because I'm small. And she tried to overpower me. I fucking flipped her ass on the ground and got on top of her and started hitting her ass in her face right up. We was fighting literally in the street. We was literally fighting in the street. And she was like, she said, bitch, do you know when me and you was fighting? She was like, bitch, do you know I seen fire in your eyes? I said, yeah, bitch, I'm sure you did. That's that goddamn spit, that hyper energy, bitch, you triggered.
Right. That's right.
So I knew from then, right then and there, we could not be the body. Because, anything that is from origin is going to go back to its origin. Right. Origin, you are not, ain't no body going to top origin. You're going to revert back to what your origin is. And that showed it when me and her got into that scuffle. The fact that she seen fire come out of my eyes or spark out of my eyes. Because you're not the body, you're energy. And I just keep saying that.
But most of us can feel it. We just don't identify it.
Well, most of us, this is the crazy part. The guy at the gas station, he told me, he's saying, oh, well, I just, all I have to say to God is, I don't ever want him to bring me back here. And I'm looking at him like, what? Like you actually are putting your whole life in another's hands. You're going to put your whole existence. If he cared about you, do you think you would even be saying that? Because if he actually cared about you, you shouldn't get no feels of depression, fear, hopelessness. You shouldn't experience any of that if he cares about you. So clearly it doesn't give a fuck about what you go through. So why would you be giving it that much power over you? And a lot of us are not asking ourselves this. I'm not giving. At one point in time, I prayed so many times about being famous because I can dance my ass off. I write music. I am talented as shit. And I can cook my ass off. I at one point in time, I done all that and I wanted to become famous, but honey, trust and do believe me. Or if they would have asked me to sacrifice and be doing all of that orgy shit, Oh no, honey. Ain't nobody touching this one. Cause I'll break your ass up. Ain't nobody doing that to this one. Cause even that, the whole sex thing, even that is still an energy because it's attacking your root chakra.
Right.
If you don't, I think that most of us need to, if you're gonna do that and you're gonna have a relationship, you need to have a kindred spark, something that is close to matching your frequency. That means you shouldn't be arguing. It should, before you finish your thought, they should be finishing it for you. That's how close the match should be. If it's not that, it's not a match, and you are going to be pissed off, and you are always going to be unhappy because you are looking for something on the outside of your vibration that does not match your own. That's just like, it's just like somebody doing double dutch, and one of the persons that's jumping rope is like straight swinging it while the other one is overlapping it. That's basically what it is.
That's what it is.
Right.
Yeah.
And even that is vibration because it's showing you.
Right.
That's why there's nothing more really to talk about when you really know that, because knowing that decodes everything.
Right. Because when you're gonna actually engage in the act of sex, the fact that it's energy and we're energy, there should be something righteously good about that. You know, we should be creating something. I really know that if we all understood what the act of having sex was meant to be, there would be more manifestation of greatness and positive things out there.
Agreed.
But we're not using it right.
Right. You're not even using your own power right. And they don't even understand that. You're just creating to only just bring more despair in versus it actually having a meaning to it.
Exactly. That's
true. And I think that is where a lot of us go wrong when we engage in sex. In order for love to be in existence, there has to be emotion and realness with it. If you don't mean it, and you don't have no type of attachment with it, it doesn't mean anything.
I said the same thing. I totally agree with you, sis, on 1,000,000% where that is concerned. Because let's be real, the great majority of us, we're still engaging in the act of having sex, right? And we're doing it with people who we have no real spiritual, not just physical connection. We don't have a spiritual connection with that person.
Right. And that's why I don't go nowhere. That's why so many are so unhappy and they get in so many relationships and end up getting used and burned in the end. Yeah. But I was just stunned about that cop situation that I had saw the show on how she cut her dress off. Girl, I would have knocked that bitch unconscious.
Listen, I have locks, and if I had a child that I grew her lock, listen, that mama, she held her self-restraint. She really held her self-restraint because can you imagine what I mean, my locks are 8, 9 years old, right? And some of them are all the way down to my backside.
Long.
So can you imagine what 19 years worth of locks look like?
19 years. I would have beat her ass.
Oh my
That's
God,
all I kept saying.
My soul hurt when listen, I would have wished Sister Lily Fire had just held on a second so we could have all done like a collective show on that and talk about it, because my soul hurt me when I saw that video. Trust me.
Yes. When I seen it today, I talked to him about it, and he tells me, "Oh well, it ain't nothing it don't fucking matter whether you can do something about it or not. The fact of the matter is that the shit is wrong." Because just like I told him, I said, "Well, I'm gonna tell you." He told me, "Oh well, we already know how you is. You goddamn right." And like I said, that when she would have cut my locks, bitch, that would have get you popped. You would have cut my motherfucking ear, bitch. That would have got your ass to be unconscious. That's too much.
That's hurtful.
That is just that's too much.
Yeah.
Yes. And then we don't even.
She really better. They better have her in hiding, because
and the thing is, we are energy. Like energy don't know nothing about no goddamn authority figure. What the fuck? Like we shouldn't even be listening to that shit. I'm gonna tell you what need to happen. If y'all ever seen, I think it was the movie called Alien versus the Predator. At the end of it, the predator was trying to escape, and all you seen was those black dragon things. All of them motherfuckers running up that goddamn pyramid. That's exactly what need to happen. All the motherfucking blacks need to run them motherfuckers up out of here, straight like that. Cause you can't, cause you cannot coexist with these motherfuckers. You can't do it. It wasn't formed off coexistence. I don't believe in that shit. I believe in bitch, an eye for an eye. You did all this shit, so it's naturally for that shit to come back and haunt your ass, because this is the energy you put out, bitch. You gonna get it back. Simple as that. Right. It shouldn't be no, oh well, we all need to be. No, fuck that. Because if they wanted that, do you think that you would be seeing them in the big houses making all the money while we don't have shit? Fuck that. I'm like this. If you do that shit to me, I'm gonna get your ass back. I ain't letting shit go, because you knew what you were well aware of what you was doing before you did it. Mm-hmm. And if you ain't, motherfucker, you will be aware after I get you. and that's the way I feel. I feel like the authority shit needs to go, because all of us have witnessed the authorities let us down in so many ways. I'm gonna tell you. Right. There was a situation with me, this girl in school, she had hit me with an umbrella because she got mad because I was talking shit to her. And I know y'all already know I got a mouth on me. So I was talking shit to her, and she got mad at me and hit me with an umbrella. And when I was about to whoop her ass in front of the school, they grabbed me and stopped me, and she way bigger than me. And when we went to court, because I'm like, oh bitch, since they won't let me get you like this, bitch, then I got to do something, because I'm not gonna let you get away with that. So I went down out because she drew blood from her arm. So I went and I pressed charges on her, and the judge told me, oh, well, I don't see nothing now. You didn't take no picture. Okay, but I still got the mark. I still suffer the mark of looking that she did it. When I came there at the magistrate office, I was bleeding then. Right. If the court case is 2 weeks from now, this shit been healed by then. So if that's the case, you need to change your goddamn system and deal with that shit right then. If that's the case. So he told me, he says, oh, well, because we don't see, no blood. And, well, of course you're not, jackass, if you schedule this shit weeks away, dummy.
Exactly. Stupid. Mm-hmm.
So I told him, I said, well, okay, motherfucker. And I said it just like this. I said, okay, motherfucker, I tell you what, you ain't got to do shit to her. But if I ever see that bitch again, I'm going to knock her motherfucking head off. And I want you to know that. So be aware of that. And he told me, if you don't get out of my courtroom, I'm going to hold you concerned. I told him, do what the fuck you want to do. You heard what I said. Because I don't respect authority, because they don't respect us. Just like I told him here, when a cop comes to your house, what if you have allowed them into your space by calling them? That's number one. Right. What in the hell do they know about you other than what you tell them? If you've been in a marriage with somebody for 5-10 years, that cop that comes to your house cannot dispute shit between you and that person, because that cop don't know shit about you or that person. Both of y'all could have put money into whatever y'all have, and both of y'all are in y'all feelings right now. The only thing that they give a fuck about is getting rid of your ass so you can stop calling them. So if they really feel like that, then what the fuck is the point in calling them? You need to be tribal and deal with that shit on your own, and stop putting authority in somebody else's hand, and grow the fuck up. And that's what really everything was. If you're going to have this reality, it needs to be tribal, where the people or spirits handle their own shit. You get elders within the community, let them handle it. Why the hell are you going to call, and they racist, they have a history of doing this shit to you, but you still keep depending on them? No, it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. We have to call it for what it is. It doesn't work. Because I don't call the cops. I don't. Because when they come, they always, like I told one dude when he came here, because I had a little incident here, and my dude called the cops on me because I was about to rough him up in here. And
let me stop laughing.
And he called the cops on me. And when they got here, I said, okay, so what the fuck you supposed to do? Because I said, do you realize that this is a hologram? That you are just a goddamn hologram, that you are energy? What the fuck do you know about me? You don't know shit about me. So what you here for? And so he was like, oh, well, since I don't know this and I don't know that, oh, well, I don't have nothing to say. Oh, so you get paid to come here to handle a dispute, but now you want to be in your feelings and act like a bitch because I told you what the real deal is. So what the fuck you getting paid for? I mean, you shouldn't even be getting paid if that's how you gonna act. Because truth be told, motherfucker, you need to be doing less talking and more listening. You were called to intervene. You weren't called to run your goddamn mouth. You were called to intervene to try to come to some type of resolution. So to me, the sound mind would say, I need to be listening to the situation and hearing them out first, and then come. No, he wants to overtalk me. How the fuck you gonna overtalk two aggravated people? And they calling you. Oh, I didn't call, he did. But the point is that you were called. So you should be doing more listening than you doing more talking. These motherfuckers be called and wanting to do more acting than they actually trying to figure out. That's why I said what I said. Like, this whole system everyone needs to become aware that this shit is a hologram. Be aware that you are energy. That ain't nobody gonna take care of you like you. No one is going to do that for you. At the bottom line of it all is that we are energy. No one is going to look out for your vibration like you are. True. Period. And if you put that power in someone else's hand, they're going to mistreat you. And it's going to be that way all the time. There is no different way to have it other than that. You must become aware, because when you leave this realm and your avatar cuts that spiritual umbilical cord that is screaming your avatar, and you're not aware of anything, you're going to be fucked. Because there's no telling where your energy will end up at. You're going to be fucked. And to become really aware, if you really want to practice it, become aware in your dreams. Right. That's the best. Meditate, because that meditation, the ancestors, because they speak to me all the time. There is such thing as ancestor spirits. They talk to me all the time, and I can literally hear them. Literally, I can hear them. And they speak to me all the time, and they taught me how you think I know all that knowledge I know? You think that was by mistake? Because if that's the case, everybody would know it, but they don't.
That's right.
So they talk to me all the time, and they really was on me about the meditation because they know I'm a hyper energy and I go off on your ass quick. I don't let you get away with shit. I don't. He will tell you, I will rant your ass about butter. I mean, one time, because I'm a cook, and when you go to the store and you get the wrong thing, and I ask you specifically for a certain brand, I'm asking you that for a reason, because obviously I've tested out the other brands and I know it doesn't work. And yes, I know we're not supposed to be eating butter, but for the recipes that I have, it calls for it at certain times. Because I know what butter is too. It's actually cow pus. That's exactly what it is. But yes, that's what it is. I've done Miss Empress Elegy. I've done all of the studying. I did it for years. I have a trunk full of books that I have read. I even written composition notebooks on this. I written 4 or 5 of them.
Wow.
Yes. So I because
so say it again. Say it again. What the cow's milk is, because you know we're listening to you live and it kind of blanked out a second there. Even though it'll probably play, you know, it'll play good when it's played back, but I don't think everyone in the chat heard you right now.
Oh, somebody said this sis is cooking. Smash the like button. That was funny. I said that it was cow pus. The milk, the butter is actually cow pus, densified. That's exactly what it is.
I just want to see how many throw up faces. I knew what you were saying, but I just want to see how many throw up faces we're gonna get in the chat right now.
But that's what it is. It is actually cow pus, because you got to think everything is spiritual. Anything you eat is going. A cow is a spirit. It has to have a spirit in order to run their avatar. Right. So everything is of spirit or energy. And that is what the butter is made of, cow pus. It might sound gross as hell, but how many of us actually use it all the time? Because even yeah, I'm guilty too. Because even for me, I still use it, but I try to moderate how much I put in it.
Yeah.
Because I do know that.
I try to buy it, you know, I don't buy just any generic butter either. I'll spend the money to try to get it from, you know, overseas. You know what I mean? And at least get something that you know is actually being farm and grass fed, as opposed to something that's coming out of a what do you call it? An assembly line of cows being mistreated.
Torture, yeah, right. Because it carries that vibration.
Yes,
and
indeed.
That's the thing. Like when you really, really become aware of all of this, your whole mindset completely changes. Cause you're so, I'm like hyper aware of everything, literally, and you just it's like you become separated from everybody else, because now that you know all of this, you can't deal with the average person because they generally are talking stupid.
Girl, let me tell you something.
You are so right. You're so right.
You're talking so much stuff right now. It's like I look around and many of us, we've lost, even if you haven't lost them, but you're just not on the same vibration with so many people anymore. You know, because it's like you can't deal with the crap, you know, and they're not listening. Nobody wants to listen. So just like separate yourself.
It's a relief to be by yourself on that respect.
That's,
you know what I mean?
That's
like,
true.
Unless you're vibrating with somebody who's on that same level or higher, you know, and when somebody's vibrating higher than me, I shut up.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be when dragging them down. That they're affording me the gift of what they've learned, and me absorbing it with a good spirit is not going to pull them down. But if I was listening to it, but not really hearing it, but not listening, then it would pull them down and they wouldn't want to be around me.
Right.
So anybody who's vibrating, and you have to acknowledge when somebody is vibrating higher than you on certain levels.
Right.
Or you won't get it. They have to see a willing student. They have to see a willing entity who wants to go higher. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So for me, yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead and finish your thought.
No, what I said, for me, there are people who will say, oh, you're judgmental. You know, you must let everybody get up. No, you don't. You have a right to budget your energy and know that you can have yourself to yourself all day long early on. And that's one thing I like to do. First thing is have myself to myself. Right. But more and more living in America, I couldn't have that. And I did have it, but I had to fight it to have my time. It's like this, it's like spiritual dawn of the dead, like the zombies that are coming through your window, through your door. That's the way it was with these entities who wanted me to vibrate lower and saw me as a meal. Like, oh, we can snack on his energy and we're going to come. They're going to call you earlier in the morning. They're going to show up at your front door. They're going to sit down on your front steps. We'll sit down on the front steps. I'll leave out the back door and hop the fence. I'll do anything to maintain that and fight and keep that. So now I left America. Yeah.
Lance, I want to address one of these comments. I think it's Green Goddess. When you say that's why they're all going underground, are running to Mars to escape divine justice. For those who actually think that there is, when I say energy, that means that there can't be a physical place that you call Mars. So I just want you to understand that all is energy, that there is no physical. So Mars is not a physical place, and neither is Earth. The collective reality is all collective energy spheres believing in the same thing. That's all that reality is. It's not what you think it is. Think of it like this. I explained this the last time, but I'm going to explain it again. Okay, we were all taught. We were taught that the cosmos itself, our solar system, is comprised of 9 planets at one point in time in the sun. And it showed that those 9 planets were physical rocks.
Oh boy.
Yeah, we're buffering kind of bad.
No, I'm just asking. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. In and out, but we can hear you now. Go ahead.
Oh. Okay. So when we were all taught, when we all went to school, we were taught that you have 9 planets and within our solar system and the sun, correct? Okay, so I think those 9 planets were Mercury, Venus, Mars, Earth, Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, Uranus, and Pluto.
Correct.
This is what we were all taught, right? But I know that none of those exist in the way that we think they exist. We think that they are actual physical places, but they are not. And if they were physical places, don't you think that you would be able to see them other than you looking at the sun? I mean, you got to think about it now, because when they show you the cosmos, what do they show you around the planets? They show you that it's black and that it's a whole bunch of stars around it, right?
Correct.
So if the stars are us and the stars are energy, how in the fuck can stars hold up and be suspended in mid-space and a big-ass rock can be suspended and it's being weighed down with human beings too? Does that make sense? I mean, the density, the massness of it all, the rock would drop and break. You're weighing it down with physical beings on top of it already being a rock. And it's surrounded by stars, which are just energy. You can't have a physical place, but yet it's surrounded by a whole bunch of energy. The gravity is not going to support that. There's no way that you could prove that. Does that make sense? You can't physically prove it, period. You can't even prove that another physical planet exists. Right. You haven't even seen Earth fully. You can't prove it. And the reason why you can't prove it is because it does not exist in the way that you're thinking.
Right.
They wanted you to believe that. Because if you believe that a rock is a physical place and that you are a physical human body stuck on a rock, that's why I explained the sun. Remember, I explained the sun being the extraterrestrial? We know that that's not because it just not can't have the sun in the sun.
Oh boy.
We're buffering real bad, sweetheart. This is what I'm gonna do. Okay. This we got to continue this, but we're gonna back out of this right now. I'm gonna have you wrap it down. Not because I'm one of the 8 that don't want you to say what you're saying. I want you to say it. But it seems like every time you get to a really crucial point of bringing everybody around to understanding, here it go, where buffers now.
They cut me off.
Exactly. So what we're gonna do, we're also going to have some segments that we'll just record where they can't mess with us through the stream.
Right.
But maybe tomorrow, because I have another show that I have to start another 10 or 15 minutes with Beatrice Noel. And she's getting ready right now. But and I didn't want to burn you out, like push it too long. You say, oh, he keep calling me for shows. You know, I can listen to you for all day long. And I'm quite sure everybody here can agree on that. So possibly anytime tomorrow, let's continue this. Let me set up for the other show. And tonight I'm going to rest the internet so that, you know, because I keep my internet on 24/7 if it gets shut off.
Lance, I just want to say this real quick. You got one comment. You got one comment that Linda Patty, she said, when it gets deeper, it buffers. And the other one says, Tara Zeta Von Bomb says she buffering because that truth is real.
Well, we know that. We know that. We know, you know, there's more than one way to skin a cat. You know what I mean? So I got multiple ways. I'm going to show you the different ways. We still going to get it out there. It's no problem. But 85% of what you said, 90% of what you said came through extremely clear. And for the next 5 minutes, go on ahead, say what you say, and wrap it down. I like the person who's speaking that has the floor to wrap it down. But I'm not saying wrap it down because I don't want you to talk. We're going to do the next show. And maybe tomorrow we can come on for a little bit as much as we can. Because now that was like foreplay. And yeah, I'm speaking as I'm in the program, right? I want more of that. So go and wrap it down. We'll be back tomorrow at some point if you're free. And I just want everybody to stay tuned and stay up on the social media so that you know where we are going to go out. We'll make an announcement once we agree. And it doesn't be no set time. But when you say, okay, cool, I'll do it now. I'll put it out there. You got to stay in touch, y'all, to know so you don't miss none of this because we're going to do it live again. And if it does buffer, we're going to just record the bad boy. But go ahead and talk your talk for the next few minutes, and then we'll wrap it down.
Okay. I just want everyone to know this, that we are all energy. We are all having this collective human experience together. And as collective consciousness, we are the power. We set the rules, we set the dictate, and we dictate what is going to happen and what ain't going to happen, because without us, the reality doesn't exist. They need us. We don't need them.
Right.
We are the manifestors. We are the creators. We shouldn't be unhappy. We should not be mad. We shouldn't be angry about any goddamn thing. They should be kissing our fucking ass on everything, because without us, you die. You're the parasite. We are not. So as the energies, as the manifestors, as the dreamers, we have the power. And as the power, we need to take our power back, stop giving it away, stop believing in an entity that is not going to save you, because if it was going to save you, it would have been done it by now. So as that, we can wrap it down, and I will definitely get back, and you guys will definitely hear from me again. And take care of yourself, protect your energy.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Boy, I want
I learned
more.
a lot.
I feel like I showed up to the all-you-can-eat buffet and they close it in 5 minutes. We're going to do it. And it's been thoroughly enjoyable. And I know that everybody enjoyed it and learned something from it and opened up their mind to understand there's more than what you see to this reality. And that's the point that we want to drive home. Exactly. So, Danina, you are much appreciated. And I'm going to keep bugging you until you come back soon. And we do love you in that respect. And like I said, we're going to keep it uncensored when you're on. We always keep it uncensored. And we appreciate you for who you are and all the hard work. And not even hard work to say, because that's a program word, right? But all of the meditation that you allowed to flow through you, that you had to push away this world and the illusion of this world and have it flow through you. That takes a lot in this world to sacrifice. Yes. Really a sacrifice to get rid of the shackles of this world. It's total freedom. You see,
you better know it. Speak, brother.
Exactly. Exactly. So I want everybody to share this video, get Danina's name out there.
Yes.
Next time we get on, there are people who are asking how they can contact you. We'll work that out whichever way you want. We'll just word it out right now. I like people to have direct contact with you because there'll probably be people on other shows who want to reach out to you, whatever have you. You're already a celebrity, you don't even know it. Not celebrity in the program now. I don't mean it that way. I didn't catch myself, but you know what I mean. You are appreciated, and I mean that from the core.
I appreciate you guys all for the support. Thank you, because it takes a lot to go through all this, and then you're separated too, because you by knowing all this, you separate yourself too.
Exactly.
That's true.
Exactly. And I want to hear in the comment section how you feel about the words that she shared, and let's keep the conversation going. And Danina, check on those comments and let's keep it going. It'll give you more of a direction of what is needed when you speak again. And let's just keep growing and let's keep ascending. And let's keep smash the programs and kick these entities in the ass and live a free life. That's why I left and brought my behind out here and going up in the mountains. So,
and the next time we come back, I'm going to do some studying on that video, and I'm going to bring out certain points on that video. Because I want them to know about that blood sacrifice.
Tell us again so folks can.
The video is from a guy, Matthew LaCroix. I think his last name is spelled CROIX. And if you look up the green emerald tablets, it'll be a 30-minute one up there, but his name is on it, Matthew LaCroix. LaCroix. I think it's LaCroix. And it would be LACROIX. But he's up there, and that video breaks it down on what is literally happening. And the next time I'm going to do some studying on this video because it was points in the video that I didn't bring out.
Oh, okay.
Right. Okay, so this is what we'll do. What you can do is email me any links that are pertinent to the next show and any previous show that you did. And I will pin them in the comment section of this video up top. They're not going to be done right away, y'all. But whenever Danina gets that to me, I'll get those links and pin them. So that way you can say, okay, before the next show, I can brush up on it and we wouldn't have to wait. Or maybe somebody doesn't get the information right and doesn't know what to search. We'll put the daggone links right there and we'll pin it in this video. And it'll be the first comment up top. It won't be there until we get the information and pin it up. But once I get the information and links and videos and books and whatever, we'll pin it there forevermore so that anybody who hears this show now or years from now, decades from now, they can always go back to those links as long as they're alive. And we'll move on like that. And I'll heavily publicize the next one, and we'll be specific in what we say, and like I said, we'll keep on rolling this way. This is what this is all about,
Right.
This is what it's all about.
Okay. We will definitely. I'm going to probably get you that link after I get off.
Sure. Whenever, anytime tonight. I don't want to press you. I want you to,
because I want you and Empress Elegy especially to see that.
Okay.
I'm gonna go in on it now, and then we'll have a lot to discuss. Seriously.
Okay. So then that way, when I talk about it, you will get a full understanding of where I'm coming from.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. That's a beautiful thing.
Sounds good.
So I'm gonna get you that link as soon as I hang up, because I'm about to bug his ass to do it.
You're a mess.
As soon as I get it, I'm gonna put it in this video. And like I said, with everybody, download any of these videos that you see that are important, because this show went on for about an hour and 40-something minutes. It's gonna take 20 minutes before you're able to download it, but they've been coming after my channel. So understand that. Share it. It helps. Hit them like buttons and stuff like that. And again, just remember, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time from Monday to Friday, we do the morning show, the Rising Show with Empress Ella G. We going hard. It's been very good that way. Yeah. And any of our regular guests that want to come pop in, fine, you can do so. And
you toward can pop in, Danina.
Exactly. Whenever you feel something going on, hey, Lance, let me in. So we'll do it that way, and we're going to go in. We're going to tear it up this week when we do that. And like I said, the next week after that, we're going to add more to the roster of shows that are definite and have a set time and stuff in the street. And I'm going to kick behind, because when I had the flu the last week, I couldn't do as much. But now, next week and beyond, it's on and popping. I'm going to do my part. I want everybody to do their part and share everything like it. And Danina did her part even before we got to know her. That's why she can talk this way. So we love you. We appreciate you. And thanks for helping to bring us out of the programs and helping everybody to think a little better.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, definitely.
Appreciate you guys.
Take care.
You too.
Mm-hmm.